But it's video of a gay sex club. When I showed this a couple of years ago, some people got offended.
This is educational. Think of all the AIDS prevention workers. You're helping them understand sexual behavior.
Okay, but it's a sex party for HIV positive people. I mean, that's a little provocative,
People
don't
with
you?
HIV are going to have sex. This video is solid insight into sexual risk-taking and barebacking
And serosorting.
and serosorting. This is real life. So post that video and be proud of it.
Okay. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, honey. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
We all have the same condition. It's called life. I'm living mine as a gay man and an addict in recovery who's dealing with aging and being a friend and finding happiness and staying healthy and having fun and enjoying laughter, all while living with HIV for more than 25 years. I'm Mark S. King, and this is my fabulous disease.
More than a year ago, when the video you're about to see first appeared on thebody.com, the reaction was enormous, by far the most views of any video I had made. And why not? I mean, it was a titillating look backstage at a gay men's sex party. But really, it was more than that. It was discussing Pause for Play, a group that hosts once a month a play party in this venue for HIV-positive gay men. Now, this is known as serosorting, and serosorting is when people limit their sexual partners to those who share their HIV status. Not so effective when it comes to people who are negative, because as we know, a lot of them don't know what their status really is, or they're lying about it. But arguably, an interesting prevention technique when it comes to HIV-positive folks. So I give a lot of credit to Bill, the host of these parties, because not only did he let us backstage to show us all of this, but he did sit down for an interesting conversation about serosorting. We're going to take a look at that tour again, and then we're going to check in with Bill to see how these parties are going and what was the reaction the first time the video came out. But first, let's take a look at the tour.
Hey Mark,
Hello, how are you
welcome. Over in here there's just like a little lounge where people can sit, and we've got computers, access to the internet, and
Tell me about Pause for Play, what that is.
well, basically my concept behind the site was to create a logo for being positive, a non-verbal communicator, if you will, for people who are positive to be able to find each other. And so I created that little logo and I applied it to products. I have it on T-shirts, not this big, but I also have dog tags, which were one of my most popular items that I, branded with this logo.
It is now 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Your party starts at 9 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Are there going to be people having sex right here in this room?
No.
No.
No. This area is basically just a lounge where people just meet one another, talk, have drinks. There's a whole back play area with private rooms and glory holes and places people can go that's
Let's go
darker,
back there.
more conducive to playing.
Let's see. Okay, so here's some lockers.
Yeah. So basically, it's a little bit different from a bathhouse. People wear clothes here. Typically, they'll just wear their jeans and maybe take their shirt off and lock their stuff up in there and walk around. And some guys wear leather, they wear a harness. It's just total nudity is not allowed in the common areas. It's encouraged for them to go into the private rooms. That's what they're there for. We're trying to really elevate the whole experience for the gay man, that we don't have to be in a dungeon, we don't have to be in a toilet to have sex. We're trying to elevate the whole thing into a more pleasant experience. So it's extremely clean, very upscale, and I think a very positive environment. And then back in here, there's a large labyrinth of private rooms that people can just walk into and play, and there's glory holes, and people can go in there and lock the door and have privacy and just play. It's a lot of fun.
First of all, these are really nice floors.
Yeah.
This is a nice. How do you clean these at the end of the night?
Well, we use a mop and some cleaner and some bleach, and we just kind of wet them, then we rinse out the mop, and then we dry them.
Wow.
So we remove the cum, sterilize, and then wipe it up again.
Oh, this room's got a chair.
This room has a little chair. This is a very popular room. People will just kind of sit down and just wait to be serviced. And we have some larger rooms here, as well as there's a sling right over in this area. We have A lot of group activity that goes on in here. People want to show off, get in the sling, play, and people get around and watch. This is the porn theater. So, obviously, guys can come up here, they can sit down, they can watch a movie, jack off, their friend can jack them off, they can
And
get
that's the
sucked,
screen.
they can suck, and that's where the movies are typically played, right there on the wall.
Wow. And of course the lighting here, you've been nice enough to turn up the lights.
Yes.
So that we can see what's going on, but obviously you have mood lighting
Correct,
for
correct.
your thing.
Normally it's much darker in here, very, very dark.
Let's go sit down and have a conversation. I want to know more about this zero sorting thing.
All right. I define zero sorting as the practice of attempting to limit one's sexual partners to persons with the same HIV status as themselves. So that would be positive with positive and negative with negative.
My assumption is at a pos sex party, based on my own experience, it's going to be unprotected sex. That there will be barebacking.
I think people do both. I always provide condoms at my parties, simply because everybody is positive does not mean that I'm telling them to bareback. I
Right.
leave it up to them as consenting adults to decide to do whatever they want to do. People do bareback, and I think to deny that fact is to really bury our heads in the sand. Two positive guys getting together, whether they have protected sex or unprotected sex, no HIV negative person is going to become infected in that coupling. I believe that there's a third way to prevent the spread of HIV. There's the abstinence, condoms, and serosorting. Separating. It's voluntary segregation for disease eradication. That's my opinion.
There are going to be safer sex advocates and epidemiologists and all sorts of CDC types that are going to say, wait a second, you're completely ignoring other STDs, other sexually transmitted diseases. What about gonorrhea? What about syphilis? What about reinfection? There are going to be those people who raise those concerns. How do you respond to that?
My events are not barebacking events. My events are for HIV positive men to connect with one another. I provide condoms at my events. It's completely optional. Men can use the condoms, and there is information on other STDs and reinfection on my website, pauseforplay.com, where people can read up on that. These are not barebacking events. However, if two men are going to bareback, my opinion is, if it's a positive guy and a positive guy, this is harm reduction. If they're going to bareback, they might as well bareback one another. Otherwise, they could potentially infect new people. This is about not infecting negative people. And at the same time, providing support, interaction, great sex, and a lot of fun for HIV positive men.
I've been very frank on my blog about being a drug addict in recovery from crystal meth. And so there are a lot of things that I can't do anymore. Being in this environment is something I really can't do anymore because I associate it so much with my drug use. But what I have to ask myself is this just not the healthiest place for me, or maybe for other gay men to be? Do we deserve to be piling in a room 8 or 10 deep, having sex with one another? Is that the healthy choice for us as gay men? Is that the kind of men we want to be, as opposed to having sexual situations which are built out of love and intimacy?
My parties are not for everyone, absolutely, and I'm well aware of that. Also, the way the space is set up, it's really a play area with a G-rated lounge in the front.
Yes.
So if people want to come to our event and just simply meet one another, have a soft drink, play on the computer, chit-chat with people, there's the whole front section which is available.
Would you like to give people information on how they can find out more about Pause for Play?
Absolutely. They can just go on my website, which is www.pauseforplay.com.
Bill, you've been really honest. I appreciate the tour. I think it's going to answer a lot of questions for a lot of people, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. It's been great seeing you.
You too.
And now let's catch up with Bill and see how things have been. Hey, Bill.
Hello, Mark. It's great to see you again. Thank you for having me.
Sure, of course. Bill, I'm dying to know, what kind of response did you get the first time that we posted this video?
We got a great response. It was a wonderful way to be able to communicate with people, and we received great messages of support and encouragement, and people were really excited that there was something like this that they could come to and meet other people in the same situation.
I know we talked a lot about barebacking, but I know you want to emphasize that there is safe sex going on. Condoms are being used.
Absolutely. As I said on the previous video, we always provide condoms to our guests, and we know that they get used because the supply becomes depleted and we see them at the end of the night.
Oh, that's a lovely image, Bill, sweeping up the condoms at the end of the night. Very glamorous. Is there any educational component about other STDs that you're providing these guys?
As far as STD testing, we provide links to information on our website to Positive Impact, who offer STD screenings here in Atlanta. And we also offer monthly testing for STDs here in the club, put on by Aid Atlanta.
Thanks for your time, Bill. I appreciate it.
Bye, Mark. Thank you so much.
And as always, thank you for watching, and please be well.